Hey there, Michelle. What's shaking?
Nothing. Lindsay, what is your favorite type of oil to use for cooking?
Oh my gosh, it's olive oil. I really like olive oil, but sometimes I know you're not supposed to use it to cook with everything.
Yeah.
But I want to use it most of the time. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I know there's a whole science with the boiling points and
Yes.
everything. And do you know about that?
Not really, but I know you're not supposed to make it too hot. But I
Yeah.
still do that. And then it's just, yeah.
Well, I also cook with avocado oil
Yeah.
now.
Hmm.
But I've been trying to avoid vegetable oil and
Yeah.
different things. So I
Yeah.
don't
Me
know.
too. Me too. Sometimes I like avocado oil, but it doesn't have too much taste to it. Does that make sense? Like for
Mhm.
me, in my mind,
Mhm.
it doesn't. But it's a good other option. Like if you're cooking eggs or something, it can work.
That's what I cook my eggs in every
Mhm.
morning.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So today we are going to talk about an expression and dealing with oil and how you can use it in your conversation. So, Lindsay, oil and water, can they mix?
Not really. When I think of oil and water, I think of them kind of separating
Yes.
out in a bottle if you try to mix them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that probably wouldn't work. So
Right.
why are you asking me that question, Michelle? Are we getting into science today? A little
Well,
science
a
idiom?
little science experiment. Maybe we should pull out our test tubes.
Yeah.
So, so something that is commonly said is that people are like oil and water. And this expression means what you would think it means. It means that they can't mix. Either they're just polar opposites, which is another good vocabulary word, or they just don't get along. So
Yes.
to me, I would use it more about people not getting along. What do you think, Lindsay?
Yeah. Do you have anyone like this in your life? Two people that you care about that you try to bring together, Michelle, and they just don't get along. It just doesn't work.
I know some people who are like oil and water. What about you?
Yeah, I think I do too. I've never really tried to bring them together necessarily or successfully, but there are, I mean, people, the world is full of different interesting people, right? And I'm
Yeah.
not sure that everyone is meant to necessarily fit together perfectly, right?
Right. Exactly.
Hmm.
So, guys, we also want to remind you before we get into it a little bit more, to get the All Ears English app. Right, Lindsay? I
Yeah.
love this app.
Oh, it's fantastic, guys. If you want a way to listen to the podcast, but then to get transcripts right in front of you and be able to tap on keywords, see meanings, save the
Right.
words, view role play reviews of every
Yep.
week. I mean, there's so much in there, guys. Michelle, how
Yes.
can you go and get the app right now?
Go to allearsenglish.com/app. That's APP.
Yeah, it would be a great way to start off the year by becoming a premium member. And you can do a 7-day free trial. So you can try out these features that I'm talking about and see for yourself that you can't get them anywhere else. All right. So
Yeah.
allearsenglish.com/APP. Good.
Right. All right. So, yeah, sometimes this can make me think of siblings, right?
Yeah.
So, either siblings are completely different or they don't get along. A lot of
Okay.
times you hear about people not getting along with their siblings. What do you think?
I was just having dinner with my brother on Monday night. He was in town, and he
Oh.
was. We were talking about how we really haven't been that close over the years, but his wife
Mm.
is super close now with her brothers and sisters. So that was kind of interesting. But I think usually brothers and sisters, siblings tend to be quite different. I mean, it's weird how
Mhm.
that happens, but it's true. So it wouldn't
Yeah.
be true necessarily that you'd be super close with your sibling.
Right. It's not a given.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
a
a given
given
for
that you'd be
sure.
close. I mean, even with dogs, like, does Kiefer get along with other dogs or are they like oil and water?
No, he's great with other dogs. There's one dog that he doesn't seem to like, and it's very weird. We'll walk past this
Oh,
apartment,
really?
and this dog is on an overhang patio kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
and the dog will go nuts, and Kiefer will go nuts, and they'll bark at each
Oh,
other.
no.
That's the only dog I've ever seen him have issues with. Every other dog
That's
he
interesting.
loves. Yeah. You
That's
you know what
interesting.
else I think of? Maybe divorced parents. So,
Yes.
my partner's parents are divorced, and one Thanksgiving we had a big old Thanksgiving, and my
Mhm.
partner's dad hosted, and my partner's mom came with
Mhm.
her husband, and,
Uh-huh.
they're just yeah, the divorcees are just kind of oil and water. They just yeah, I mean, there's a
Yeah.
reason there was a divorce, right? It
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow, yeah, no, that can be awkward, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, it's kinda funny, but that's okay, that's okay. What else,
Yeah.
Michelle? Mhm.
Okay, so I think that this could be actually a really good connection expression because it can explain your background, your personality, right?
Yep.
Or what else could it do, Lindsay?
I mean, it could be good for connection for sure. Like you said, to explain where you come from, what kind of person you are, and who you
Yeah.
don't do and don't get along with. You could be warning someone about someone else's relationship. Like, let's say you're
Right.
about to go to a party and maybe the couple that's hosting are having a hard time getting along or something, right? And they're like oil and
Right.
water, or they're two random friends that are coming that you just know are going to be oil and water, right?
Right. So, but yeah, or yeah, somebody just went through a breakup, a
Yeah.
divorce, and you know they're both going to be at the same party. So you might say, oh, they're really like oil and water right now. So maybe you try and keep her over there and
Yes.
the other one will be over here. So,
Yeah, these are important things, conversations to have that friends need to support their friends and make sure that things go over smoothly at the party. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Or it could be good for just telling a story, sharing that somebody didn't get along. So you could just say, "Oh, and I was with this crowd, and it turned out that these two people were like oil and water, and so we
Yes.
did blah blah blah." Right?
Yeah, those are good examples. What else? Do we have any specific examples?
Yeah, let's do a couple. So, my brother and I are like oil and water. We only talk once or twice a year, and
Mhm.
I've talked about that I'm very close with my brother, so I want to
Yeah.
say that's true. But
Oh,
just an
no, no.
example.
Yeah, for sure. Or I thought I would love having 2 dogs, but they get along like oil and water. It's not so fun. Ooh, that sounds hard. Sounds difficult to keep them separated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Or she doesn't get along with her roommate. They're like oil and water, so try not to bring it up.
Did you get along with your freshman year roommate in college, Michelle? I know we've touched on, college,
Uh-huh.
but did you get along with your freshman year roommate?
I did. I did.
Good.
We got along. I had a little bit of a hard first semester. I was very homesick. I think I've talked about. But then second semester, I felt a lot better, a lot more like myself. So we got along. We're Facebook friends.
Yeah.
We don't keep in touch. But I have positive associations with her. What about you?
Yeah, we got along. We weren't really friends. We didn't hang out, but I
Yeah,
had my own friends and she had her own friends, but we definitely got along. There wasn't much drama, thank goodness, because
that's good.
those
Oh
college
yeah.
dorms are very small.
Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah. All right. All right, Michelle, before we get into some more examples and potentially a role play later on, I do want to call out a couple of our reviewers. Michelle,
Mhm.
we've been getting a lot of amazing 5-star reviews for All Ears English. What do you think
Ooh,
about that?
thanks, guys.
Oh
Wow,
my
I love
god,
it.
yes, thank you. So a special shout out to Anonymous on December 5th, Ivana Charlie on December 4th, and Daniel Zaza on December 4th in Apple Podcasts, as well as Silly Goose 1909 on December 2nd. And Silly Goose said, "Wish I could give it 10 stars."
Aw, thank
Amazing.
you. Thank you,
Amazing.
silly goose. I love the name.
It's fantastic. So if you love the
Thank you,
show,
everyone.
let us know what you think, guys. Go on over and leave a review, leave a rating, and we will be happy to announce your name on the
Yes.
show. Right, Michelle?
Yes, absolutely. Love it. So, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
So, Lindsay, let's talk about some similar sounding expressions that are pretty close in meaning. What
Okay.
are some?
All right. So the phrase night and day. So this is used more to say that something is an opposite, right? So we could come back to this, Michelle, and I think we should. Just this
Yeah.
one phrase another day. But for example, I feel so much better today after the medicine. It's like night and day. So here, what are we saying? What is like night and day?
How I felt yesterday versus how I felt the day before, before I took the medicine.
Totally. Yeah. And we could talk
So,
about
this is
Mhm.
different.
This is a little different, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay, is living in Denver versus Boston like night and day?
Yeah, I think it actually kind of is. There's a lot of sunshine here compared to Boston, in my experience. And people
Mhm.
are a little friendlier, I think. People are a little
Hmm.
lighter and more likely to smile at you on the street. So it does kind of feel like night and day. It's a very different
Interesting.
lifestyle, for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, all right, here this is another one that is I would say more similar
Hmm.
to oil and water. So, this is fire and ice. Lindsay, you
Oh,
hear this one?
I've only seen this as like a name of a restaurant, I think. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is from AI. I'm just gonna so AI said that it refers to two opposing forces. represents passionate extremes. I'm quoting a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Like intense love and bitter hatred.
Ooh,
Um,
yes.
and it's interesting. It says that it comes from Robert Frost's poem of the title for Fire and Ice.
Mhm.
So yeah, interesting to see a little bit of where it comes from.
Yeah, for sure. So fire and ice. This one I don't hear quite as much. I hear the
Yeah.
night and day thing. I hear, oil and water, but fire and ice, I guess it kind of conveys there's going to be drama, right? There's going to be
Yeah.
drama.
Right.
There's going to be sparks and not in a good way.
Right. Right. So the kids are like fire and ice. I don't know how it got this bad.
For sure. Yeah. Michelle, what else here?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Like, do you think you could use any of these in a professional context? Would you say the more casual? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely this could work in both ways. I would be careful when you're talking about people in general. We've talked about this before in business, your career. Be careful anytime you're talking about someone's
Yeah.
personality and how it might clash with someone else's personality.
Mhm.
That's another bonus
Mhm.
there, by the way, Michelle. Clash.
Clash. Yes, I'm gonna put that word. So guys, remember to get that app,
Yeah, get the app.
because
Mhm.
that's gonna be one of the bonus words for today.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you could use it at work. Just be careful when you're having these conversations, who's around. I would say just talk about other things, not so much people's
Yeah.
personalities. That's what I would do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So let's do a role play and see how we could use it.
Okay, Michelle. So here we are friends. We're talking about our childhood. All right.
Okay.
So did you get along with your siblings when you were young?
Ooh, no way. We were like fire and ice. But actually, from then until now, it's like night and day. We're super close.
Oh, that's good.
What about you?
My siblings are kind of like oil and water. I wish we got along better, but we're just too different.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Interesting. That would be kind of a cool survey for our listeners for today to see if our listeners are
Ooh.
close to their siblings or not.
Yes.
That will be
Yes.
our
That will be.
Spotify poll
Oh.
today. So make
Yes.
sure you participate in our poll by going over to Spotify and voting in the poll. Good stuff. So I asked you, did you get along with your siblings when you were young? And you said, no way.
No, I said we were like fire and ice. But then I said, but actually from then until now is like night and day. So that's a little bit different. So basically that's saying it's totally different.
Yeah,
Now we're
mm,
super close.
yeah, I really like the expression night and day because it
Mhm.
just shows real contrast. Something
Yeah,
has changed, right? And I would
absolutely.
encourage our listeners to try that one out today. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Michelle. So is there another episode that our listeners could check out?
Yes, guys, check out episode 2332 was Do You Say I Don't Know Too Much? That was a fun one. I remember we did.
Yeah, I love that one. Guys, go on over and while you're at it, make sure you hit follow on the All Ears English podcast. Now, Michelle, what is our final idea today? Final thought for the day?
Well, I mean, it's kind of an unfortunate topic to talk about somebody who's like oil and water, but
Yeah.
it's important, and we gave you the reasons why. And we gave you two other ways to express this idea of opposites. They're not necessarily exactly matches. And I
Mhm.
want to do a whole follow up and night and day because I think that's
Yeah.
a really, really useful one. But give these a try, and we hope you're not like oil and water with anyone today.
I know for sure. And I'm excited to come back to that night and day. So hit follow on the podcast. And Michelle, I will see you another day. All
All
right.
right, bye.
All right.